A day after a suicide bomb tore through the capital of Afghanistan, people are trying to get back to normal. But the residents of Kabul are still worried and are asking the government to increase security across the city. The bomber drove a minibus full of explosives into an Afghan intelligence agency office on Tuesday morning. At least 30 people were killed and hundreds more were wounded. The Taliban has claimed responsibility for the attack. And Bilal Sarwary has been following this story for us. He joins us now live from Kabul. Bilal, what more can you tell us following this attack?
The country is still trying to cope with what is one of the most deadly attacks in the last few years. We see Afghans are posting photos of their loved ones. The funerals are taking place. And President Ashraf Ghani has sort of come out in the last 4 or 5 hours and said, we will take the revenge for every drop of the blood. We will not talk to the Taliban. The Taliban simply said no to the peace talks and will defend the country. And that basically means that the peace process is dead for now.
In terms of the peace process countrywide, what could the Taliban hope to gain from such an act? Especially given the fact that many of the victims were civilians. What message was the Taliban trying to send here?
Well, it's interesting because the Taliban think that they're winning. The Taliban think that they are in control of more area in the rural countryside, and that is not totally inaccurate. They have more control of weapons, ammunition, and the morale of the Afghan National Security Forces is very low. One of the reasons is that Afghanistan does not have a Minister of Defense. It still has an acting Minister of Defense. It still does not have an intelligence chief. But all of those attacks in Helmand and Kunduz have never guaranteed the Taliban headlines, international attention. So it's also about projecting their power. And when an attack like that happens in Kabul, the Taliban almost can hit one bird with two stones. On one hand, they create a climate of fear among ordinary Afghans. They undermine the confidence of the people in the government. And on the, in their second purpose is, they're saying, look, we're very, very strong and we're not to be taken very easily.
Well, their desire for projection has certainly worked. Okay, thank you very much for that update there, Bilal. That's Bilal in Kabul.